It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
And this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. With me this week are some of the best comedians from across the country. On my right, we have Ray Bradshaw and Janie Godley. And up against them are Athena Cook-Blenu and Bruce Devlin. In the news this week, a global tech project aimed at getting more children into computer programming has been endorsed by Pope Francis. Jesus saves, said His Holiness, but he also copies, pastes and prints. Local authorities say the Scottish Government's proposed council tax freeze will mean further cuts to services. Glasgow City Council have given up altogether and are now telling residents just to empty their own bins into the nearest pothole. And a viral video appearing to show a worker from Tsingtao urinating into a tank has caused a loss of faith across the beer brewing sector. Budweiser were quick to reassure their customers with a new slogan: before you ask, it's always tasted like that. Right, you've met the panel. Let's crack on with round one. This is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So, Ray and Janie, can you tell me what this is all about?
Rishi Sunak has been
calling for more rewilding projects to be created across
politics. He needs another 279 to get past Eden.
He says rewilding would help to counter the damage caused by
Liz Truss, obviously.
It's the 1 year anniversary of Rishi Sunak being Prime Minister, isn't it?
Well done, good spot, that's the right answer. This is indeed the week that marks 1 year since Rishi Sunak became Prime Minister, taking over from Liz Truss. It's been an eventful year for the Prime Minister, from international to domestic crises, HS2, wrangling over immigration, and not to mention his own approval ratings that have been at record lows. Rishi Sunak was mocked this week after one of his posts on social media site X contained a spelling error. The post has since been corrected, but it's good to see he's still committed to stopping the small goats. So there you go, Ray. You got the right answer. What do you think then? 1 year in, how do you think Rishi is doing?
I cringe every time I see him on telly. Everything he does makes it so awkward, and you can see he's just kind of rapidly falling. If it was Father Ted, he'd be Dougal, and Boris would be Father Jack. Like, that's the way it is.
Except nobody's saying, go on, go on, go on. Oh, Janie, what do you think then? 1 year of Rishi Sunak as Prime Minister. How do you think he's doing?
I can't believe I've outlived him, that's for sure. What I have an issue with is everybody keeps telling me he is a multi-millionaire, his wife is a multi-millionaire, they have managed to get their finger in lots of pies, and I'm like, is nobody thought he might be putting like a wee inch in the bottom of these trousers? If you had all that money, you could just get trousers that fit.
Just a wee hem, that's all we're looking for.
A wee hem down, that's all. Before I die, it's my mission to meet him and say that.
Imagine using your Make-A-Wish to meet Rishi Sunak.
Do you want to go to Disneyland? No. I want to meet Rishi Sunak and measure his inside leg.
Bruce, what do you think? 1 year of Rishi Sunak, how do you think he's doing in the job?
I don't really know because I don't live in the real world, but the one thing I will say in his favour, had it not been for him during the pandemic, we wouldn't have had any money, so I am grateful to that. But no, I completely agree with you. If you're going to Prada, get it to fit.
It's a simple message. Athena, what do you make of it then? This week marks 1 year since Rishi Sunak became Prime Minister. How do you think Rishi is doing?
I think Janie hit the nail on the head when she said that he's a millionaire and he's married to a billionaire, and this is why he's bad at the job, because he's treated being Prime Minister like it's a Saturday job. Everyone here's quite young. They've probably forgotten. Saturday job is what we used to do before OnlyFans was invented for extra income.
Ray, what do you think about this? Of all the things to keep from Liz Truss's mini budget, Do you think it was right to scrap the cap on bankers' bonuses?
Of course it wasn't. It was brought in because of the credit crunch, which 2008 was caused by bankers shorting the pound. So to bring it back in is just mates looking after mates. It's like how I got on this show because I've got pictures of you. So...
But it's lovely to have you back, Cray. You're back every series.
They should get bonuses, but it should be the kind of bonuses that we get as ordinary people. Like, you know when you go to McDonald's and you get 6 nuggets, and then you open a packet and there's 7 in it? Banker's bonus, okay? Or they should go airport and it's like, you know what? Go speedy boarding, just for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just give them the ordinary people bonus.
His approval ratings aren't great at the moment, Ray, so what could Rishi Sunak do to improve his popularity with you?
Naked attraction.
Yes.
Because he's so wee, you would see everyone else's shins, but you'd see all of him like, in one go. It'd be great.
Bruce, what about you then? What could Rishi Sunak do to improve his popularity with you?
Resign.
Right, Athena and Bruce, what was the other story we were after?
Is it to do with Glencoe?
It is the story of Chris Packham describing one of Scotland's best-known landscapes as sad and broken. The broadcaster said Glencoe should not be a barren moorland but feature patches of native woodlands, suggesting that it could be fixed by rewilding parts of it. He says, from my point of view, Scotland is the mecca for UK wildlife. You've got so many rare, endangered and sexy species. Packham said restoring habitats could help Scotland's economy. Yeah, because Habitat do lovely towels and bedding. So, do you agree with Chris Packham, Bruce?
I don't know. I haven't been to Glencoe recently because they don't have a Harvey Nichols, so it's of no interest to me. So I don't. What is rewilding?
I think he's looking to introduce more flora and fauna into the
So
area.
what is he going to be running through the glen like Mr. Tumnus spraying seeds? Is that rewilding?
Potentially, it could be one aspect
Right,
of it.
That's what he
Okay.
wants the trees for, so he can hide behind them.
Hide behind the what to
In a
eat
long
Turkish
jacket.
delight.
Just splash. Ooh, it's quite wild behaviour.
I do have to clarify, he's a naturalist, not a
Yes,
naturist.
I'm dyslexic enough to read that twice, actually.
Well, there we go, Athena. Chris Packham's had his say, but do you agree with him?
No, not at all. I've been to Glencoe and the mobile signal was really bad. So it seems pretty wild to me. And then I climbed, there's a mountain there and we climbed it. And then we got lost at the top of this mountain. And then we met this Dutch couple and I saw the wildest thing I've ever seen. This Dutch couple walked down this mountain because they were hiking. That's how it works. The woman needed a toilet. And most people need a toilet. They just kind of like go somewhere and use the toilet. She kept walking, pulled down her trousers while she was walking, urinated while still walking. That's as wild as behaviour you're going to see.
I think that's very clever.
And Chris Packham say it needs to be more wild. What is he suggesting?
Wee-wee.
Yeah, so I thought it was really wild there. And then we stayed in this little hostel, and somebody had a packet of like this weird pasta and cheese thing. You added water to it to make it. I thought that's kind of wild, guys. It was interesting.
Was that a pasta sauce?
I think it was.
Yeah. They're on offer in Morrison's at the moment. I'm trying to get my first fiver. It's taking ages.
Same.
Oh, it's outrageous.
What, Diet Coke because you got 500 extra points the other day?
Oh,
and
it's
I'm
all
still not even
lies.
close to it.
So you are buying stuff to get points.
Yeah.
I can tell you a better one than that. But 17, 18 years ago, my husband and I went into the supermarket and he collects air miles and he realised that there was a lot of miles on the sanitary products and he turned to Ashley and looked at me and went, how long will yous carry on bleeding? He bought hundreds of sanitary towels. Laugh if you want. We went to Las Vegas first class in British Airways. True story.
So, Chris Packham says that Glencoe should not be a barren moorland. Ray Bradshaw, what do you think about Chris Packham? Do you think we need to do more to protect Scotland's natural areas?
Yeah, if it's like parks and like hills and stuff like that, I think it's always important to protect the places that most Scottish people lose their virginity in. So I think that is quite important.
Tell us more.
Right, so
Did somebody take you up the Bendoran?
So, Athena, what do you think about this? The Scottish Government are planning to introduce a new national park by 2026. Where do you think deserves national park status and why?
So on the way in, I saw an area of outstanding natural beauty. It was a Greggs. Get this, it wasn't any old Greggs, it was a Greggs outlet. Do you know about this? It's a Greggs where you can buy in bulk, okay? Protect our natural habitat, okay? This is our feeding grounds, okay? If they shut that down, we'll have to migrate.
When presenting shows like Autumn Watch, Chris Packham used to sneak song lyrics into his script. It's a game a lot of us play in broadcasting, but it's a lot harder than it sounds. Scaramouche, Scaramouche. I'll leave your fandango. Well done, Athena and Bruce. You get 2 points for that. It was indeed the mashup of 1 year in power for Rishi Sunak and concerns for the state of Glencoe's wilderness. And at the end of that round, the teams are all square. Now, much of our news is about public opinion, so to find out what stories people are talking about, we spoke to two friends of the show, actor and musician Tom Urie and writer and broadcaster Nicola Meakin. So, Athena and Bruce, what do you think Tom is on about here?
I think it's a lot more common than you think. I think people are maybe a little bit reticent to admit that they have this particular belief system. It's not something that you really like to admit, but I am definitely in that category. My advice is run. Run like the wind. Don't look behind you.
I think he's talking about British people who believe in ghosts.
Yeah, well done. This is the spooky story that a new survey suggests that 7 out of 10 Brits are convinced ghosts, spirits and apparitions are not just figments of our imagination. Personally, I don't believe in ghosts, and neither do my housemates, Sir Isaac Newton and Mary, Queen of Scots. Athena, what do you think then? Do you believe in ghosts?
Do I believe in ghosts? Yeah, definitely. That's what I told HMRC. That's handy.
Ashley and I have discussed ghosts extensively, and she's told me that, you know how when somebody dies and they'll say, you see a wee white feather and that's your daddy, or a rainbow? Ashley says, when you die and you want to send me a sign, I don't want any of your white flowers, white feathers or rainbows. Send me a big dirty cowboy for Yellowstone. So when that approaches me, I'll go, oh, my mammy sent me him. I'm going to be a really annoying ghost. Much like in real life, I'll be doing that. I'll be haunting Trump. I'll be hanging right out his shoulder going, you're gonna go to the bad fire. And he'll think that's God speaking to him. And I'm going to haunt everybody I know. Bruce, I'm going to be right at your back.
Really?
Yeah.
Blocked.
Ray, why do you think ghost stories are still so popular?
Because they're easy to blame. Like, see if you wake up the next morning, you're like, nah, it wasn't me that did a pee in the wardrobe, must have been a ghost. Like, just that's how it's still kicked about, like a scapegoat. Like, that's what's happened.
I love that scapegoat. Oh, it's genius. Bruce, have you ever had a supernatural experience?
You know, I have, and it's not funny, and it was in the Stand in Glasgow, because that's apparently haunted, and I can't remember who I was on with, because it was someone I liked, and that is so rare. And I cannot place this person, very few and far between. And the cupboard, the back bit where the storeroom is, just shut, and something fell. And I said, oh, is there someone in that? And they said, no. And I said, it must be true then, what they say, that there is a ghost that apparently watches the show and then asks for its money back.
So the stats are in. 7 out of 10 of us believe that ghosts are real. How else can you explain the strange knocking sounds and the ghostly cries of those thought to be long dead saying, will you be voting Labour in the next election? Brilliant. Brit's belief in the beyond is the right answer. Well done, Athena and Bruce. Over to you now. Ray and Janie, it's your turn. What do you think Nicola is talking about here?
I really welcome the inclusive aspects, and I totally agree that we should never assume, but I must admit, the notion of incorporating breakdancing just might be a bridge too far. I've emerged from these things the way we all do, battered, bruised, limbs akimbo, dizzy to the point of fainting. I think that's why we love it, isn't it?
Were they changing the rules for Ceilidh dancing?
Well done. You got the clues in there, and that is the right answer. Scottish country dancing has been given an etiquette makeover to ensure it is fit for the 21st century. A woman's side and man's side is no longer required for Ceilidh favourites like Strip the Willow, and dancers are also urged not to give feedback unless requested, to respect personal boundaries. The new guidance also reminds people they can decline to dance if they want to. A recent example being Les Dennis on Strictly. Jeannie, what about you? Are you a fan of Ceilidh dancing?
No, it frightens me. I went to a Ceilidh, a big posh event in London, me and my pal Elaine. We thought, oh, we'll go along. It was only about 4 years ago. And when we got there, the noisy people's hoofs on the wooden floor was quite frightening to start with. And it's always big fellas who over-Scotify themselves by throwing you about. And Elaine had a huge bruise on her hip, and I had one on the side of my face. All I can think is, why don't they just give you a wee tube of arnica when you're leaving? It frightened me. Folk got over-enthusiastic. And then they explain the dances and trying to explain to 72 drunk people trying to form a row. Men down there, women down there. Now everybody, and nobody's listening. They're all like, hey, you did ya. And then you're going to go left, you're going to go right, and then two to the left, and then two to the back, and then doing a circle. People are just drunk on like, is this bingo? What's happening?
So you're not a fan of the Ceilidh then, no?
No.
Bruce Devlin, what about you? Do you enjoy a bit of Ceilidh dancing?
No, it's not really my bag. And I think the reason it's not for me, I was very, very fat a while ago, and someone said I looked like Simon Callow from that scene in Four Weddings as a Funeral. I know. And I did take a hammer to them. And they deserved it. And that really kind of put me off.
Athena, what about you?
Honestly, like, savour the Ceilidh, because in England, we don't have this culture, OK? We've got the oops upside your head dance. You don't want to be left with that, you know? Like, without the Ceilidh, you're basically left with the hokey cokey, OK? So protect it at all costs. Yeah. Protect it.
Respect and protect the Ceilidh.
Absolutely.
Right, if not the Ceilidh, what is your favourite thing about a wedding?
When you see people's families, like extended families, like, and playing tricks on each other. So I went to my cousin's wedding last year. So all my family are deaf. So my dad's side of the family, like, everyone's deaf. So when I went to my cousin's wedding last year, there was 81 people at the wedding in Essex, and I was the only hearing person. And my cousin came up to me and signed to me. She was like, I've made a surprise for you during the meal. And I was like, oh, that's cool. They're inviting me, involving me and stuff like that. The surprise she made a wedding playlist that consisted of one song repeated 31 times. John Legend's All of Me 31 times in a row. I don't know if you're complaining to a room full of deaf people about the music. No one cares. It was. But I was like, yeah, I've been absolutely done here, but well played, well played.
That's brilliant, Ray. That's a great story. I love that. Jeannie, what about you? If not the Ceilidh, what's your favourite thing about a wedding?
When all the old aunties, the proper old aunties, the old Mauds and Beryl's and Margarets go, look at the state, you wouldn't have put that colour on her, wouldn't you know? She's like a plate of custard with a hat. They have the worst. You've got all the old relatives, Bruce. The worst insults ever. Like, you wouldn't put these shoes in a Shetland pony. I don't need to shut up, Amanda. She knows she's fat. She's been fat all her life.
Well done. New guidelines for Scottish country dancing is indeed the right answer, and 2 points goes to Ray and Jeannie. You're listening to Breaking the News from BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. Now, this round is all about who's in the news. I will play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Ray and Jeannie, you're first this time. Who is this?
It's maybe achieving a bit of personal freedom that I've chosen not to have to the same extent because I've been pursuing this thing. So it's just part and parcel of the next phase of life.
That was Nicola, the former First Minister, and she has passed her driving test.
And that is the right answer. Well done, Jeannie.
Thank you.
Yes, former First Minister Nicola Sturgeon has revealed that she passed her driving test on her first attempt, aged 53. Posting the news on Instagram, the MSP for Glasgow Southside said this proved it was never too late in life to do something new. Passing first time isn't easy, especially when you consider the vehicle she had to learn in. very tough to parallel park when all you can see in your rear view mirror is a 32-inch telly and a double bed. Ray, what do you think about this one? Are you surprised it took Nicola Sturgeon so long to learn to drive?
No, I lean into that theory that she's just trolling everyone now. So supposedly she's on her ferry qualification now as well, and just gonna.
Athena, what do you think about this? Are you surprised it took Nicola Sturgeon so long to learn to drive?
Oh, it's given I've lost my chauffeur, hasn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like...
I do love the idea of her losing her chauffeur and she's trying to get public transport. She's like, this is rotten. Who runs this? I'm like, you do. Like, for the last 10, 15 years.
On a platform going, roll replacement bus. Yeah.
What do you think then, Bruce? Are you surprised it took Nicola Sturgeon so long to learn to drive?
No, and I'm not really interested. I did... Good for her. I did tweet her congratulations with what climate emergency? Winky emoji.
Yeah, cheeky scamp.
Oh, I know.
I think that it's great that she's learned to drive. She's getting a wee bit of independence. I think that...
At least someone is.
Well done! Did you see how I slipped that in?
Well, that brings us on nicely, actually, to what do you think Nicola will do with her newfound freedom?
She's 53 years old. She's got no claims bonus. She can't afford to drive.
That's very true.
Her insurance is going to be $4,000 a year. Forget that. Get a taxi.
Nicola Sturgeon apparently got upset when an instructor changed the radio to FM, tearfully telling him, that used to be me. Yeah, 2 points go to you, Ray and Janie. That was, of course, former First Minister Nicola Sturgeon. Right, Athena and Bruce, it's your turn now. Who is this and why are they in the news?
I'm feeling a lot better than when I first got taken out of the capsule. Yeah, the recovery process is going to take some time, and there's still a lot of vertigo going on in my head, a lot of kind of dizziness, but it's getting better and better every day.
Is that Tim Peake?
Well done.
Astronaut guy.
And it is the news that the last British astronaut to go into space is to come out of retirement to lead the UK's first astronaut mission. Tim Peake will be leading the mission into space at the age of 51, making the previous segment about a 53-year-old passing a driving test that wee bit less impressive. Seems like a good guy. Athena, are you pleased to hear that Tim Peake is coming out of retirement?
I've never heard anyone dine out on doing one little thing as much as Tim Peake has dined out on going to space that one time.
Have you ever heard of John Smeaton? He was a baggage handler at Glasgow Airport that kicked a terrorist in the nuts.
Yes, that guy, yes!
Oh, he dined out on that. Maybe more than going to space.
Quite rightly so, hero.
Bruce, are you pleased this week to hear Tim Peake coming out of retirement?
I'm delighted. I was a huge fan of Peak Practice when it was on, so I'm glad to see that she's out and about. I genuinely had no idea who he was.
The thing that blew my mind about this is that George Freeman MP spoke about it, who is a minister at the science department. What's he been doing for the last 30 years? If he's now dealing with British space missions, what's he been doing the rest of the time?
Meccano.
Voting for Wagner, like just spending his time doing nothing. Like,
you mentioned that guy, George Freeman, who is a minister at the science department. His exact quote was, "The UK mission with Axiom Space has the potential to inspire a whole new generation to reach for the stars." At which point he lost the audience because everybody in their head started singing S Club 7.
I can't imagine a British space mission. It would be awful. You know, they're also, and it'd be like, oh, sorry, we bumped into you. And there'd be a queue in space. They'd be like, no, you go first.
If it's a British spaceship, though, let's be honest, there'll be a bus replacement at some point. They'll do that. I actually need to go from the moon to space service.
But you're up at Saturn, mate. That's a good point, actually. How do you think a British space mission will differ from the rest?
Well, it's going to be at least half board, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't travel unless we're getting our breakfast. You know, but I would expect for a private company full board, right? So I'd want like an all-inclusive, and I want a little wristband so I can get the proper cocktails. Yeah.
Good stuff, yeah.
I bet you they sell scratch cards on it.
Oh, they will. It's lovely. Yeah, that's good. They'll cheer when they land as well.
Oh, that's just horrific. No.
There'll be a stag do already based at the moon. Well done. Great answers there and correctly identifying Tim Peake, the British astronaut who may well be going back into space. And it really is great to see Tim Peake coming out of retirement for this, as without him, the most experienced British astronauts are Wallace and Gromit. And there we go, correctly identifying our answer. Astronaut Tim Peake is the correct answer, and 2 points go to Athena and Bruce. And it's time now for our final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. So I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
I don't mind being Nelson Mandela.
That's Donald Trump there, wondering why his advisors were shocked at his choice of Halloween costume. Fingers on buzzers, teams. Let's do this. What has been found after 3 years? Janie.
The camper van.
What has been found after 3 years? Athena.
It's the receipt for the camper van.
Brilliant answers. What has been found after 3 years? Ray.
Is it Boris Johnson's WhatsApps?
You know what? That deserves a bonus point.
Yeah.
That should be the answer because that has been found after that length of time, but it's something else. You might have missed this in the news. What has been found after 3 years? Bruce.
The missing material from Rishi's slacks.
Bonus point for that. Should be the right answer. I can give you the right answer on this one. You may have missed this. What has been found after 3 years? A lost tortoise in Florida.
I don't mind being Nelson Mandela.
Oh, there's our klaxon. Donald has trumped. It means it's all over. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Athena Cook-Blenu and Bruce Devlin. Commiserations to Ray Bradshaw and Janie Godley. And we'll leave you with the breaking the news. Breaking news just in. The BBC documentary series The Met, Policing London, has returned for its 4th season. The programme explores how the force has had to cope with the growing problem of staff shortages, as each week more and more officers are sent to prison. The makers of Iron Brew have bought over the well-known English drinks brand Rio Tropical. So look out for new Iron Brew releases such as Iron Brew Tropical, which is just normal Iron Brew with a wee umbrella in it. And popular K-pop band Stacey caused confusion at a show in Texas when they turned up wearing 1990s Glasgow Rangers tops instead of outfits for local baseball team the Texas Rangers. Fans were left confused by the mix-up, but not as confused as they were for the encore when the band came on and sang The Sash. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark.